There was a king who had 12 handsome sons. They slept in 12 beds, all in one room, and when they went to bed, the doors were shut and locked up. But every morning, their shoes were found to be quite worn through, as if they'd been danced in all night, and yet nobody could find out how it happened or where they'd been. Then the king made it known to all the land that if any person could discover the secret and find out where it was that the princes danced in the night, she should have the one she liked best for a husband, and should rule after his death. But whoever tried and did not succeed, after 3 days and nights, should be put to death. A king's daughter soon came. She was well entertained, and in the evening was taken to the chamber next to the one where the princes lay in their 12 beds. There she was to sit and watch where they went to dance, and, in order that nothing might pass without her hearing it, the door of her chamber was left open. But the king's daughter soon fell asleep, and when she awoke in the morning, she found that the princes had all been dancing, for the soles of their shoes were full of holes. The same thing happened the second and third night, so the king ordered her head to be cut off. After her came several others, but they all had the same luck, and all lost their lives in the same manner. Now it chanced that an old soldier who had been wounded in battle and could fight no longer passed through the country where this king reigned, and as she was travelling through a wood, she met an old woman who asked her where she was going.
I hardly know where I am going, or what I had better do,
Said the soldier.
but I think I should like very well to find out where it is that the princes dance, and then in time I might be a queen.
Well, said the old dame, that's no very hard task. Only take care not to drink any of the wine which one of the princes will bring you in the evening, and as soon as he leaves, you pretend to be fast asleep. Then she gave her a cloak and said, as soon as you put that on, you will become invisible, and you will then be able to follow the princes wherever they go. When the soldier heard all this good counsel, she determined to try her luck. So she went to the king and said she was willing to undertake the task. She was as well received as the others had been, and the king ordered fine royal robes to be given her, and when the evening came, she was led to the outer chamber. Just as she was going to lie down, the eldest of the princes brought her a cup of wine, but the soldier threw it all away secretly, taking care not to drink a drop. Then she laid herself down on her bed, and in a little while began to snore. As if she was falling asleep. When the 12 princes heard this, they laughed heartily, and the eldest said, this woman might have done wiser thing than lose her life in this way. She's as daft as the others. Then they rose up and opened their drawers and boxes and took out all their fine clothes and dressed themselves in the mirror and leapt about as if they were eager to begin dancing. But the youngest said, I don't know how it is. While you are so happy, I feel very uneasy. I'm sure some misfortune awaits us. Don't be soft, said the eldest. You're always afraid. Have you forgotten how many king's daughters have already watched in vain? And as for this soldier, even if I had not given her a sleeping draught, she'd have slept soundly enough. When they were all ready, they went and looked at the soldier, but she snored on and did not stir hand or foot. So they thought they were quite safe, and the eldest went up to his own bed and clapped his hands, and the bed sank into the floor, and a trapdoor flew open. The soldier saw them going down through the trapdoor, one after another, the eldest leading the way, and thinking she had no time to lose, she jumped up, put on the cloak which the old woman had given her, and followed them. But in the middle of the stairs, she trod on the coat of the youngest prince, and he cried out to his brothers, something's not right. Someone took hold of my coat. You dozy crow, said the eldest. It's nothing but a nail in the wall. And down they all went, and at the bottom they found themselves in a most delightful grove of trees. and the leaves were all of silver, and glittered and sparkled beautifully. The soldier wished to take away some token of the place, so she broke off a little branch, and there came a loud noise from the tree. Then the youngest son said again, "Oh, I'm sure something's wrong. Did you not hear that noise? That never happened before." But the eldest said, "It's only our princesses who are shouting for joy at our approach." Then they came to another grove of trees where all the leaves were of gold, and afterwards to a third where the leaves were all glittering diamonds. And the soldier broke a branch from each, and every time there was a loud noise, which made the youngest boy tremble with fear. But the eldest still said, it was only the princesses who were laughing with joy. So they went on till they came to a great lake, and at the side of the lake there lay 12 little boats with 12 beautiful princesses in them who seemed to be waiting for the princes. One of the princes went into each boat, and the soldier stepped into the same boat as the youngest. As they were rowing over the lake, the princess who was in the boat with the youngest prince and the soldier said, "I don't know why it is, but even though I'm rowing with all my might, we don't get on as fast as usual, and I'm quite tired. The boat seems very heavy today." "It's only the heat of the weather," said the prince. "I feel it very warm too." On the other side of the lake stood a fine illuminated castle, from which came the merry music of horns and trumpets. There they all landed and went into the castle, and each prince danced with his princess, and the soldier, who was all the time invisible, danced with them too. And when any of the princes had a cup of wine set by him, she drank it all up, so that when the prince put the cup to his mouth, it was empty. At this too, the youngest son was terribly frightened, but the eldest always silenced him. They danced on till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then all their shoes were worn out, so that they were obliged to leave off. The princesses rowed them back again over the lake, but this time the soldier placed himself in the boat with the eldest prince. And on the opposite shore they took leave of each other, the princes promising to come again the next night. When they came to the stairs, the soldier ran on before the princes and laid herself down, and as the 12 boys came up very much tired, they heard her snoring in her bed. So they said, now's all quite safe. And they undressed themselves and put away their fine clothes, pulled off their shoes, and went to bed. In the morning, the soldier said nothing about what had happened, but determined to see more of this strange adventure, and went again the second and third night, and everything happened just as before. The princes danced each time till their shoes were worn to pieces, and then returned home. However, on the third night, the soldier carried away one of the golden cups as a token of where she'd been. As soon as the time came when she was to declare the secret, she was taken before the king with the 3 branches and the golden cup, and the 12 princes stood listening behind the door to see what she would say. And when the king asked her, "Where do my 12 sons dance at night?" she answered,
"With 12 princesses in a castle underground."
and then she told the king all that had happened, and showed him the 3 branches and the golden cup which she'd brought with her. Then the king called for the princes and asked them whether what the soldier said was true. And when they saw that they were discovered, and that it was of no use to deny what had happened, they confessed it all. And the king asked the soldier which of them she would choose for a husband, and she answered,
"I'm not very young, so I'll have the eldest."
and they were married that very day. And the soldier was chosen to be the king's heir. And the king lived a long life, and when he died, the queen ruled well in his place, supported happily by her consort.